We are back after a long while away today. Of course, you know who we're talking about. We're talking about Wrexham Football Club. And yes, since the last video, a lot has happened at the football club. I'm going to be bringing you a roundup video today. There's a lot to talk about. It is such an important stage of the season for Wrexham Football Club. So we're going to be previewing our Good Friday game against Bristol Rovers on top of some general news regarding Wrexham Football Club. But before we get going in today's video, if you haven't clicked the red subscribe button already, please consider doing so. We're on the road to 27,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can go for 350 likes on today's video. And yeah, without further ado, let's get talking about the pride of North Wales, Wrexham AFC. So starting off now with some general news. As the club stated a couple of weeks back, 500 seats have been taken out of the temporary stand to allow the new Kop Stand construction to start ahead of the deadline, which of course is the summer of 2026, to allow the Under-19s Euro Championships to be held in Wrexham. I believe Wrexham is the host venue for the final of that competition, so they want to get it up for that, and work has already started. There's a lot of work going on, behind where the fan zone was. They've stripped, like I said, 500 seats from the right side of the temporary stand, which is going to look weird when we go into the racecourse ground on Friday against Bristol Rovers. You're just going to look across and there's going to be a massive gap on the side. I'm not too sure why they've gone from one side. I thought they'd have gone, 250 from each of the sides, but there must be a reason behind that. It's exciting to see such good progress already happening before the end of the season to allow this Kop Stand to be up as soon as possible. I believe it is going to be up before the end of next season, so it's crazy to think in near enough 12 months we're going to have a 7,500 seater Kop up and ready, and that Kop Stand will hopefully see us survive or even go one step further and possibly do well in the Championship next season. People have been asking on social media. We finally got an answer. Welcome to Wrexham. What has made Wrexham Football Club as popular as it has become? Of course, the documentary Season 4 is set to be released. There was a lot of questions about when it would be released. Would it be the summertime, sort of around when the first season was, released? It's crazy, before I say anything, to think we're in Season 4 of Welcome to Wrexham. It seems like yesterday that we were starting Season 1 and, this whole thing was slowly just starting at Wrexham Football Club. And here we are, 4 seasons later, with it about to be aired on the 15th of May, less than a month's time. The first episode of Welcome to Wrexham will be released. This is 2 weeks after the season has finished for Wrexham Football Club, if we are to go up automatically to the Championship. And if we're to go up via the playoffs, the first episode will have been released before the playoff final, which we will play at Wembley, which, yeah, make of that what you will. It'll be squeaky bum time, but this month for Wrexham Football Club, May, could be a very good month. We've got Season 4 coming out, and we could end the season as a Championship and promoted side from League One. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you looking forward to Welcome to Wrexham? What are you expecting it? Do you think it'll be as good as previous seasons? What would you tweak? Like I said, I love to hear your thoughts on everything, because the Welcome to Wrexham documentary is a big driving factor as to how Wrexham Football Club have grown to a worldwide club. And we've seen, on multiple occasions how big Wrexham are in different countries across the world. And I think we do have to thank Welcome to Wrexham. And some other positive news: Phil Parkinson has been named League One Manager of the Month for the month of March, which I think is well deserved. We picked up some very good wins across the board. Wycombe Wanderers away, of course, stands out, that 1-0 win. So he's maintained, of course, that spot at the top end of League One. So I think, it is deserved for Phil Parkinson. And he has also been nominated for Manager of the Season alongside Chris Davis of Birmingham City, Nathan Jones of Charlton, and Richie Wellens of Leyton Orient. So we can hope, if we go up, that Phil Parkinson will win Manager of the Season. I think if Wrexham are to go up ahead of Charlton and Leyton Orient, I think Parky has a very good chance. Chris Davis, he's basically been put there with a £20-25 million budget, whereas Wrexham, on the other hand, have probably spent around £3 to £4 million. And, everyone was saying it's going to be a struggle for Wrexham in League One this season if we are to go up automatically. I think Phil Parkinson does deserve this. Yes, we don't play this pretty modern day football that you'll see, possession based football, XG, etc. Phil Parkinson is an old school manager, you could say, in a sense, and some people might think that's good, some people might think that's bad, but at the end of the day, he brings us results and he's brought so much success to this football club, and we could do 3 promotions in a row. What can you complain about there? Phil Parkinson deserves a statue at Wrexham Football Club. Yes, I think, like I said, his tactics at times and decisions you could sometimes have the questions about, but at the end of the day, he's winning football games for us and he is a true club legend. Our goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo has won PFA Player of the Month as well, which is a very good achievement for Arthur. I think, of course, since coming back from that wrist injury, he has been a rock in that goal for us. He's been so solid. He's kept the most clean sheets in League One this season, 17, and there were questions asked, would Callum Burton come in and take his place in the starting 11? He's responded to that injury, that setback he had with the wrist really well, and 17 clean sheets in League One. He has proved to be a massive signing for us. To get Arthur in on a free when there was no doubtedly a lot of competition from other clubs, and to keep 17 clean sheets and be a big player for us, I think it's probably our signing of the season, and he could go one step further and win our player of the season. Talking now on Friday, the big game at the Racecourse Ground on Good Friday, the penultimate game of the season at the Racecourse Ground, a game which could be season defining for both Wrexham AFC and Bristol Rovers. Wrexham, of course, we know it, we're on 82 points, second in League One. Bristol Rovers have just about got into the relegation zone for the first time in months. It's a big game for both sides, and we go into this off the back of a flat performance away at Wigan Athletic, a very uncharacteristic performance from Wrexham Football Club. We had absolutely nothing going forward, 4 shots in the whole game, 0 on target, which, again, like I said, is uncharacteristic to have not even a shot on target. I don't think it is sort of down to Wigan Athletic's tactics. I thought both sides on the day were poor, no chances created, and yeah, it was just a really weird one because there was so much hype going into this. Wrexham had 4,500 fans in that away and making great noise all game, and were an absolute credit to the club, the fans. And I think we were really let down with the performance. Yes, it's a point, it could have been worse. We could have picked up 0 points and lost the game, but at the end of the day, I was expecting us to at least have a shot on target. But we move on from that, and let's hope that isn't the case on Friday. We have to be licking our lips to this opportunity against Bristol Rovers. They're a team that are massively out of form. They've suffered 6 defeats on this spin, winless in 6. They've conceded 5 goals here, 3 goals there. They were coming off the back of, I think, a good win against Bolton and a good win against Huddersfield, and then all of a sudden they've lost 6 on the spin. So Wrexham Football Club should really be going into this confident and hopefully increasing the gap between us and Wycombe Wanderers, because we know they're playing away at Bolton Wanderers, which is going to be a tough game for them. We've seen them in previous times. They're a bit like Wrexham, scraping 1-0 victories here and there, but if Bolton are on their game, I think they can pull up at least a point against Wycombe Wanderers, and if Wrexham are on our game, we could hopefully pick up 3, which increases the gap to 4 points. Yeah, and like I said, it's the first time in quite a while that they have drifted into the relegation zone, so they have got a lot to play for. And I just think it is going to be a tight game. I would happily take a 1-0 performance. Wrexham will be hungry to put in a determined performance to put things right from the Wigan Athletic game on Saturday in terms of performance-wise. And I think if we approach this game correctly in terms of tactics, line-up selection, we shouldn't have an issue at all in picking up 3 points. And talking on, changes into the lineup, in my opinion, I'd look at Saturday, look at Wigan Athletic, and I'd look at the players that came on or were possibly not even involved in the squad, and I'd be looking at making changes. We've been banging on for weeks and weeks about Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer, but surely now it is time to at least see one of those involved just in the matchday squad in general, because it sounds ridiculous at this point in the season Wrexham is second, and I've never really done it post-takeover because everyone has been so fabulous for this football club and have always given 100%. But at this stage of the season, you're looking at players that are going to be in that team, scoring goals, scoring that vital goal that could send us up to the Championship and increase the gap between us and Wycombe. And we're not seeing that at the minute from our big money signing striker from Burnley, Jay Rodriguez. And I hate to say it, but I'm really struggling to see what he does bring to this Wrexham side. It is a shame because it was a big relief for him to score that goal against Stockport and follow up against Exeter City. But you're looking at Wrexham's game style and game plan in games, and I'm really just struggling to see how he's going to adapt to that role between now until the end of the season. And if we go up to the Championship, we're paying him a reported £15,000 a week when, in all fairness, I'll be honest, he's not really offering a lot in this Wrexham side, and he's struggling to adapt with the players around him and the attributes that they have and the style of play and the traits that they have. It just really is a bit disappointing because I'm going to say it, I think looking at Ollie Palmer's hold-up play is better. His aerial ability is better than Jay Rodriguez, and Paul Mullin would offer a lot more press running up front, and I think Mullin would complement Sam Smith really well if those two were to play up front together. Sam Smith has been brought in, and yes, he was this goal-scoring striker for Reading, but at Wrexham he's doing this goal-scoring, he's doing the dirty work up front, holding up the ball. But you look at Jay Rodriguez and I just don't see what he is bringing to this Wrexham side at the minute. And you're looking at Paul Mullin in the stand away at Wigan Athletic, everyone chanting his name, wanting a picture. It must kill him not being even involved in the matchday squad after what he has done just last season in League 2 especially. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you bring Paul Mullin or Ollie Palmer into the matchday squad? Like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if we're looking at further changes, I would look at bringing Ryan Barnett into the team. And I think wing backs in this game could be a big reason, an important reason as to how and why Wrexham Football Club could win this game of football. We need Barnett's creativity, we need his crossing, but more importantly, we need players to get on the end of it, because Ollie Palmer I thought was a good example. Start of the season, he put in crosses, Palmer would be there. We need those type of players. We need, if Jay Rodriguez is going to be starting, to get his head on one to flick it into the net. Sam Smith, yes, he's good in the air. We just need players to be in the right place at the right time, because Ryan Barnett will provide that good cross, and a player of his creativity sat on the bench, and especially as well looking at the performances on Saturday, he should 100% be starting. I even think Parky knows that, and I think Parky will go for that option of Ryan Barnett at right wing back on Saturday. It's just a question, do you keep McLean on that left hand side? Would you put Ryan Longman on from the right to the left? Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I don't think you can be leaving a player of Ryan Barnett's creativity. Even the stats back it up. 9 assists this season, 11 goals and assists across the board. Yeah, it is a shame that he's not starting, and I think a change will be made, and I think he will come back in. So the nerves are creeping in. 4 games left, 12 points to play for in this League One season, and Wrexham Football Club are in pole position to get promoted to the Championship. The nerves are just through the roof at the minute, and it will just be even more nerve-wracking. Even if we win on Friday and Wycombe Wanderers lose, to have that 4-point gap going into, the 9 remaining points that are up for grabs. Oh, I genuinely do not know if I can do this. I would take a 1-0 game. It's probably going to be a tight game as always, but please, Wrexham Football Club, just win this game of football. And we can only hope that Wycombe Wanderers drop points, because they've got a tough end to the season. We just need to keep this confidence, consistency up until the end of the season, and we will be in the best position this football club has probably ever been. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to click the red subscribe button, turn the notification bell on as well, so you're notified every time a new video comes to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you hopefully for a big win on Friday against Bristol Rovers. Take care, guys. Up the town.